My name's Donna Carter, and I am the founder and president of GoingBallistic.org. And we are going to do a little recap of where we are and where we've been and where we're going. So thanks for being here. Hi, and welcome back. Like I said, this is GoingBallistic.org, and my name is Donna Carter. And I just wanted to take time today to just talk about who we are, what we are, and where we've been and where we're going, and to thank everyone who has come alongside and just gotten us this far, and how much we appreciate that. So Going Ballistic, who we are is a 501c3 who, in the wake of Uvalde, decided that we had to do something, and that something was inspired by a conversation with Matt Coffin, retired Texas Ranger Matt Coffin, and just some things that happened down in Uvalde, and bringing some things to light, and that leading to the fact of my understanding that where I live, we were not prepared for an incident like that, and taking the initiative to get prepared. And so Going Ballistic really is about moving forward and changing the discussion from guns, because we have had guns since the beginning of the United States. We've had crazy people since the beginning of the United States, but something else is going on. And it really all started about over 30 years ago, when Columbine happened. And it was a new tragedy that has unfortunately become more and more often. And this idea of mass shootings is far too regular today. And so we, as Going Ballistic, have decided to do what we can. And we know we're not going to have all the answers, and we know there are lots of problems, but what we'd like to do is change the conversation to focus on solutions, to act as if it were going to happen, and take every measure to ensure that we've done all we can to prevent and minimize the tragedies. So in that endeavor, that has taken a mom, me, who is literally nobody from a little town in the middle of nowhere, and galvanized me, motivated me to lean on the people in my life who do know what can be done and what needs to be done, and how to go about doing it. And that entails websites and social media and things that I really had absolutely no idea about. And so I could not have done any of that without Be Infinite, which is the website, and this podcast. And I'm just so appreciative to all really Chris Shaw has done for us, and moving that forward to Matt, and just his lifelong experience, and how I had a meeting the other day. So we're having a fundraiser. We've gotten to our very first fundraiser, and we were meeting with someone who reminded me, or maybe informed me, but that Matt is my clout. And if it weren't for him, I don't think I or we would be taken as seriously as we need to be, even given the um, weight of this thing that it is that we're doing. Um, and then my husband, of course, who has been supportive of me individually, but really going ballistic from the beginning and giving us the ability to do what it takes to get this far. Um, I'm just so grateful to him. And so where are we? So that's kind of where we've been. Where we are is we have secured our 501c3. We have gifted our first shield. We have started the legwork. We're getting to do speaking engagements. I got to speak to Kearns, Texas. I apologize for my phone not being quiet. And it's just amazing to me how really the only thing required is to show up. I mean, not that I don't get as organized as I can and prepare as much as possible, but really it's a matter of just getting out there and talking to people. Everybody, I think, is ready and willing to do whatever they can. We just need a little bit of insight and direction on what to do and how to do it. And so we are having our very first event. It's a fundraiser, and we are going to have it here in Texas. And it's actually at my personal residence. So again, God is just kind of utilizing what we have. And I think someone said that God doesn't, God doesn't use the equipped, he equips the willing, or something like that. So I'm willing to do whatever it is. I believe that if God is in this, that there's nothing I can do to mess it up. And if he's not, there's nothing I can do to make it work. And so July 15th, we are having a public event. And so everyone is invited. Please come, please share it. Please support us any way you can. We are going to start ticket sales, I think, immediately. So I'm real excited about that. And it's just going to be a backyard barbecue. We've got Rick Huckabee, which is a talent from Nashville, and one of Nashville's best kept secrets, as I understand. But so I encourage you to look him up. Huck, he goes by Huck, but it's Rick Huckabee, and you can find his music on YouTube and other social media outlets. And we're going to have our friend Alan West, who has really been just an advocate of mine from the beginning of this whole journey, and just a light into where we're not really so much in the results business, that this is about shining a light into the darkness of what's really happening, and taking action. We don't have to win every battle. We don't have to wait for government to do everything. That we can take action right now, no matter where we are, and just leave all the results up to God, and that's okay. And we're just so grateful for him. And he's actually going to be a guest of ours on our podcast, I think in a couple weeks. And so you'll get to hear a little bit more from him, and I will get to hear a little more from him. And so we're just encouraged by that, and I'm grateful. So where we're going, like I said, got into this because my heart broke in the wake of Uvalde, and I felt like that happened in my own backyard, and I couldn't stand it anymore. I couldn't stand doing nothing. I didn't know what to do. And, through seeking something, this has turned into what it is, which is equipping our first responders with a rifle-resistant ballistic shield. In researching that, I'm just so confirmed that, so there's been a lot of talk lately about militarizing our police force. And, everything tries to take us down some rabbit hole that ends up being political, whether that's the gun conversation, militarizing our first responders. And it doesn't have to be that way. There are really ways to unite around these things. So a shield, for instance, is a defensive weapon. And so there's really no need to have it unless you are already in harm's way. And so that is not militarizing. That is just acting upon an already having a threat. And I don't think preparation should be political. Like, I don't care who you vote for. Surely you would agree that we should do every single thing we possibly can to prepare for something that we hope never happens. And, we've had guns forever. We've had crazy people forever. And what I'm finding out or realizing maybe is that there are other things going on that we are, that certain people are perfectly aware of. And it's things like, so what else has changed since Columbine, right? Start asking those questions. So if we've always had guns and we've always had crazy people, then what else is going on? Well, when you start to shine that light down that dark place, what you find out is this whole John Wick mentality, the things that we're exposing our children to, and then video games, the things that we actually use as a tool to desensitize our military, is what we're allowing our children to do at home, on their phones, in the middle of dinner, at a restaurant. And that this has to be addressed, that we have to start talking about. And this is something that we can change on our own as parents, as peers, and saying that this is having an effect that is costing lives. There are studies about these shootings that they say are random, and it's as if these shooters have done this before. They come prepared, ready to shoot, because they have. They've walked into these situations, whether it was behind a video game or regularly in the shows they're watching on television, movies they're watching, and they are romanticizing homicidal instances, and we can no longer turn a blind eye to that, and we have to take personal responsibility. I've said it before. So my son is 5 years old, and I have allowed an entire generation, because I did not have a dog in the fight, to be exposed to these things, because I thought, well, yeah, things are getting more violent, or yes, this does seem to be happening more frequently, but without any action or even research onto, wait a minute, why is this happening and what can be done about it? And knowing that the gun idea doesn't really seem to be the problem, but it sounds feasible, right? It makes perfect sense to think, well, if they didn't have the gun, then this wouldn't be happening. But unfortunately, that isn't the problem. And talking about it is keeping us from addressing real solutions that can have real impact. And I just hope and pray that everyone who is is in earshot of any of this is willing to take a moment and ask ourselves the hard questions, ask the people around us, whether that's loved ones, law enforcement, whoever is within our realm. Are we ready? What can be done? What should we be doing? And then just acting accordingly. And at the smallest level, maybe supporting those of us who are willing to do that legwork for you, and just coming alongside and sharing our message and sharing our hope. And at the end of the day, we shouldn't be surprised by any of this. Evil's been around forever as well. And we're all in a battle. And I'm not going to go down without a fight. And I hope that you will join us in this fight as well. God bless, and Godspeed.